A few weeks ago, I brought up on my Facebook page whether or not disabled speakers should mention their disability from stage. And as you might expect on Facebook, I got a lot of disagreement, a lot of different perspectives from people who were disabled, people who are not disabled. For my part, I am disabled. You can't tell that I'm disabled while I sit because my disability is basically with the way that I walk. I grew up with a left leg that was always smaller than my right leg, atrophied, created a major limp, had many surgeries to try to fix the way my left leg was built, but a lot of things just couldn't be fixed because a lot of muscles didn't exist. Eventually, at 38 years old, I ended up upgrading, letting go of my lower left foot because it just wouldn't work anymore. So I am a below the knee amputee. So I've always had a noticeable limp before and after the new foot smell appeared as part of my life. And it's always been something that I've kind of made fun of, that I have used in a self deprecating manner, and particularly as a speaker. And that's me. It works for me because, frankly, the way I walk is a bit of a distraction to me. And yeah, it's normal to me, but it's a distraction to normal distraction to me as well. And frankly, and I, since the amputation, which I hate to use that word, I've noticed it more and more because it's not the natural short leg. It's something where I have something mechanical that I have to deal with, and depending on my weight, depending on my health, it's been harder to walk than it was before, even though getting the upgrade really was an upgrade at the time and still is, because without it, I'd probably be in a wheelchair or always on crutches or always using a walker, whatever. But enough about me. That's me. That's where I am. But not everybody is me. Not every speaker is me. And speakers have all sorts of disabilities. Some, speak out of wheelchairs. Some are partially paralyzed or almost completely paralyzed. Some have other physical issues. Some have, disabilities that are more like cerebral palsy, and they're comedians or they're regular speakers, and they just use that as part of who they are. And some people don't believe they need to mention it, and that's okay. It kind of depends on whether or not, for me, it's a distraction on stage. And you might be thinking, okay, well, I'm disabled and I really don't care if people are distracted. Eventually, I'm just going to talk and they're going to like me or they're not going to like me, and they need to get over it. Okay, I can understand that. I mean, you might be distracted by my Batman t-shirt this morning, and I don't necessarily have to explain that I'm wearing a Batman t-shirt to get my point across, for you to listen to what I have to say. Not that a Batman t-shirt is anywhere close to the same as a disability, but a distraction is a distraction. So I'm not here to tell you that you have to bring up your disability from stage. If you don't want to, don't. For me, if I don't, it bothers me. And so, yeah, maybe it's more about me than it is about the audience. But I think it's also about the audience. Because for a very noticeable disability, I think the audience kind of wonders what's going on, what happened to them. And if it's just totally not important to what you have to say to that audience, I can understand not bringing it up. Usually for me, I have a story about overcoming my disability, living with my disability, making the choice to upgrade as part of my overall keynote or overall message. But if I'm in front of an audience that I know, that I'm used to, I won't necessarily bring it up at all, because there's no need. They just see me as me. And I know that the world is moving more and more towards people feeling like we should just be accepted as we are. So, regardless of disability, regardless of anything, we shouldn't have to explain ourselves from stage. Maybe I need to get to that point, at least when I'm giving speeches where bringing up the disability isn't part of the overall message. Maybe that's just me needing to come up to present times instead of being stuck back in the 70s when I grew up, 70s and 80s. Ultimately, the decision is yours. If you think that bringing it up is going to help your message, help you connect with your audience, bring it up. Be self-deprecating, possibly. Be funny. Mention it in passing. It doesn't have to be a main focus. Or make it part of your speech and part of your message as a point that you absolutely make. Or don't. The choice isn't mine for you. The choice is yours. We'll see what I keep doing in the future. If you need help making that decision, figuring out where it may or may not fit in your speech, give me a call. Drop me an instant message. We'll connect. Give you a free 30-minute consultation, help you discover, develop, and deliver your best message. And until then, I hope you have a win anyway day.